a school campus.
Yeah, it's an alarming trend that we have seen at Winston-Salem Forsyth County high schools this month.
Yeah, but now it's happening at a middle school. Everyone at the school is safe. No one was injured. This is a post that was online. The Forsyth County Sheriff says a tip from someone in the community led Winston-Salem police to find the gun in a student's backpack. Again, this is at PAISLEY Middle School. The student is a juvenile and will be charged for having a weapon on campus. Now today, Winston-Salem Forsyth County school leaders went inside Parkland High School. This comes as the district works to keep students and staff safe.
Dr. Tricia McManus toured Parkland, which was one of the schools where a deputy found a student with a gun earlier this month. In the wake of these weapons on campus and the deadly Mount Tabor shooting, discussions about school safety improvements have resumed. The district says they are working to assess the needs of schools like Parkland. In a news conference last week, the district said it's trying to add extra social service positions at Parkland specifically. The suspect accused of shooting and killing a Mount Tabor student is expected in court sometime this week. At this time, officials have only said the suspect was also a student at Mount Tabor. The case is still in juvenile court, and as a result, information about the suspect and the case is limited.
Well, Triad healthcare systems have a new message for everyone. Only come to the emergency room if it's truly an emergency. Now let's take a look. Atrium Health, Wake Forest Baptist, Cone Health, and Novant Health, they all put out the same statement today saying wait times in ERs are crowded with people not truly in need of emergency care. They say there are some folks who are just showing up for things like a COVID test. Testing is not offered at ERs, and you should find a designated testing site. Now, here are other things where you should try to go to a doctor's office or maybe get a virtual appointment instead of the ER. Any kind of like an eye infection, a minor burn or a rash, a small cut, or even an injury that might need an x-ray. Now, if you're experiencing chest pains, if you're having trouble moving your arms or legs, or you have another type of traumatic injury, then yes, you should be heading to the ER.
The plea from hospitals comes as our state's hospitalization number continues trending downward. Today, the state is reporting 3,010 patients. It's 63 fewer than yesterday and the lowest number we have seen since August 17th, more than a month ago. In the past 3 weeks, we have been able to shave off 800 patients, which is great news considering the capacity issues many hospitals are facing. Cone Health, for example, says its adult ICU capacity is at 93%. This number has fluctuated between 90 and 97% capacity over the past few weeks.
Happy Wednesday, hump day. We're midway through the week. It is warm when you head out the door, but the humidity is still not oppressive, making for a very nice Wednesday across the Triad. Some locations across western North Carolina already seeing fall foliage at work. We're starting to see some peaks in colors that transition western North Carolina, the earlier arrival of that, and then all of us sort of transitioning into seeing our fall colors as we go into the months of October and November. But back to the temperature talk. It is warm when you walk out the door. 80s across the board, mid to low 80s, 82 right now in Greensboro. When we look to Winston-Salem, 85, and then 83 when we're looking in Burlington. So overall across the board, it is a warm day, but we are expecting a cool off very soon. 60 degrees is that dew point read. This speaks to what it feels like when we talk about the stickiness in the air, the moisture, what is in the air. 60 degrees, kind of on the humid side of things. So if you are standing in the sun for a prolonged period of time, you can't rule out the possibility of sweating. So that's the case for today. But as we go through the course of the next 5 days, we will see a dip in those dew points, especially on Friday and going into the weekend. But then they're going to continuously kind of ride around those 60s. That's all due to a frontal passage that will be approaching our area. I'll have more details on that, as well as a 7-day, and of course, a look at the tropics, all coming up.
All right, time now to get to your 4 to 5 roundup. First up, starting Friday, it might take longer for a letter or package to get delivered. The U.S. Postal Service says it's slowing some delivery services to cut costs. Right now, the Postal Service tries to deliver first-class mail in 1 to 3 days. Well, now it could take 3 to 5. Leaders say the change will mostly impact things going long distances. Walmart will not offer layaway payment plans this holiday season. In years past, the retailer offered the service from August through December. Shoppers could make a deposit and then pay off the bill monthly. Last year, Walmart restricted layaway options, but this year it's getting rid of them altogether. Instead, the company is offering a monthly buy now, pay later option through a third-party service called Affirm. President Biden canceled a trip to Chicago today, staying in Washington, D.C. as a government shutdown looms. The Senate says it'll vote on a resolution before the Friday deadline when funding for the federal government runs out. After that, there's an October 18th deadline to raise the debt limit. Biden spent the day in meetings with 2 senators who oppose his spending and infrastructure bill. And how about this for a birthday party? Students and staff at Peck Elementary, along with Greensboro Police, celebrated crossing guard Thomas Faucette this morning. He turned 100 years old. Mr. Faucette is a World War II veteran who worked at the post office until 1986. He retired after 40 years, but quickly found a new job as a crossing guard. He's helped people across the street since 1988.
And so he delivers. Still, get that? But
That's great.
He likes to stay busy.
Right.
And since 1988, so just imagine a lot of those students have already graduated from college and are probably working. I wonder if they ever go back and like say hi to him.
And I'm sure they remember Mr. Faucette. I mean, if you're walking to school and he's your crossing guard every single time, absolutely. That is so cool.
And I mean, it's getting to the point now where there are going to be generations of kids, right? Like their parents walked across the street that way, and now their kids are
And now
too.
they're grandparents.
And what I love about that is he retired, but he didn't retire. And I think so often we think retirement, you just stay at home and you don't do anything. And he retired and he's still helping.
I love that.
Shows how big his heart is, because all of that is voluntary, correct?
Well, I don't know. Some crossing guards get paid, but maybe he's
I don't know.
paid, or maybe he's a volunteer crossing guard.
Well, happy birthday to you. And we have some more exciting news. In 1 week, Wicked will arrive at the Tanger Center, the first Broadway show to take the stage inside the new center. Before it arrives, the curtain will rise a few more times in Charlotte. And that's where we find WFNY News 2's Eric Chilton today. How's it going out there?
Yeah, you know, we're about an hour and 40 minutes down I-85 toward the Queen City here. This is Ovens Auditorium behind me. You know, we thought about with the sun's not cooperating, we're going to show you a big wide shot, but it doesn't matter because what's inside there will be in our backyards next week. It opens midweek at the Tanger Center. Wicked is a huge Broadway show. If you didn't know this, in fact, I have some trivia coming up. We're going to quiz Chad and Tanya and Lauren to see if they know about this. Is a award-winning show. It dates back to 1995. That was when the novel by Gregory Maguire was released, and then the Broadway play came out 18 years ago. It was 2003 when this took the stage. It is the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West. Remember the green face in The Wizard of Oz? It's her like growing up and coming of age story, and you get to find out why she is the way she is in that. Interesting that the author of The Wizard of Oz, which by the way, that goes back to 1900. I didn't realize it was that old. The movie came out in the late 30s, but the author was named L. Frank Baum, LFB. The lead character of Wicked is Elphaba, LFB. That's where that comes from the author, kind of paying homage to the author of the original Wizard of Oz. It is a massive undertaking with special effects and one of the best Broadway shows ever produced. As a matter of fact, in 2016, this show reached the $1 billion mark in gross revenues. That puts it in the likes of Phantom of the Opera and The Lion King, which, by the way, The Lion King traveling version coming to the Tanger Center as well eventually. So this is the place tonight. In about 4 hours, the doors will open here and the curtain will go up. It's 8 o'clock here at Ovens Auditorium, but we are waiting for the Tanger Center opening. Now, in a little bit, guys, we're going to talk about this digital lottery. You have a chance, if you did not get tickets to Wicked yet, you still have a chance to get tickets at an incredible discount through a lottery system. We'll talk about that coming up. Have any of you seen Wicked? That's what I need to know.
I have not. I haven't.
It's so worth seeing, and see it more than once.
I love that.
It's so Chad, if you had to guess, on all of you, how many Tonys this one was either nominated for or won?
7.
Oh, you'd think we play this commercial enough that I would know this.
Is it 7?
Is it like 10?
Tanya's guessing or no?
I'm gonna guess 15.
It blew me away. 33 Tonys.
Oh no, we were all way off.
64 nominations. I mean, that I'll have to look at the records and see where that stands, you know?
It is a phenomenal show. I mean, the music, you know, you sing the Wizard of Oz music, right? You know it, but this is the kind of music that you would also sing as well, that really just like gets underneath your skin and you're just like thinking about it hours later and stuff like that. And the story behind it and the whole thing of wrapping all of the Wizard of Oz up is just great.
And the costumes look phenomenal.
I can't wait.
mean, take a look at that. And we pretty much have the whole month of October here in Greensboro to go see it at the Tanger Center. So
See it more than once.
Yeah, coming up, we'll talk about that digital lottery, so stick around for that. You can still get tickets.
For many people, owning a home is part of the American dream, but sometimes renting a home is a more viable option. I spoke with multi-award-winning realtor Melissa Greer of Berkshire Hathaway Home and Services in Greensboro about renting versus buying in the Piedmont right now. Greer says if you're uncertain about your career or have a low credit score, then renting a home may be the best option. She says for those with a steady income and good credit history, buying is a better fit. According to Zillow's rent versus buy calculator, here in the Piedmont, it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy in the booming market. But Greer says if there is a way to buy, it's a better investment.
The rental market is just as tough. There's not a lot of availability. So people are either, if they're temporary, they're having to go to Airbnbs possibly, or short-term furnished rentals. And those can be very expensive. So even a normal rental is more expensive. It's just like our real estate market. Everything's gone up.
Greer says the COVID-19 pandemic has changed what amenities buyers want inside their homes. She's finding what was once considered a luxury is becoming a necessity for many.
You know, I think people are spending a lot more time at home, even with things relaxing. I think habits develop to do more at home. We see a lot more people looking for home gym spaces, home office spaces, outdoor spaces where you can enjoy and not feel like you have to go somewhere.
So I went to Facebook and asked, what amenities and special features would you want in your dream home? A lot of responses here. Scott Garner said, a large kitchen where I can cook and entertain family and friends at the same time, and an Amazon shower with a rainforest style shower head. Very fancy. Elliot Pegas said, 2-car garage with a complete overhead living quarters. Adrian D. Weaver, my very own weight room and big office. Davis Orange says, a large walk-in shower and a bowling alley. And Aaron Cooper, a fireplace in the master bedroom. Now that sounds nice now that it's getting a little cooler.
And that's old school. You used to see that in the old houses, right?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I've always been a big fan of the infinity pool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what it's overlooking. I just want to not be able to see the edge of it, right?
That would be a cool luxury
Very
item for
beautiful.
sure.
What about you?
I want an outdoor backyard space where I can cook and watch TV and do all the things, right? So I want like a whole kitchen out there, not just the grill, but the whole kitchen.
That was on my list, an outdoor kitchen, because I like to cook as well, or I would like a 2-story closet. So I've seen a lot of those on like reality shows.
Yes.
So it's also like a sitting room too, and it's like your little woman cave.
That's right, a woman cave.
Wow. I would also like a grotto.
Like a waterfall and
Oh,
everything? Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Dream House, right?
Right. I mean,
it's not
you know,
reality house, it's
That's
Dream
right,
House.
Dream House. That's right. Yes.
What would you like?
yeah.
Tell us on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
So although it's been a warm day across the Triad, we are not the warmest spot across the country. Look at that, 90 degrees down in Tampa as a high for today. I'm so grateful to be here in the Triad. Even looking at our satellite and radar, it's been dry here, but active weather does continue in southeastern portions of Texas as well as southern portions of Louisiana, just there offshore. And then as we look towards the north and east, the New England states looking at activity. Here at home, it's been quiet, dry weather, and that's what I'm expecting to persist through the weekend. Now the start to next week, that's when things change. Cold front that's now well to our south, high pressure moving in behind it. We're getting high pressure from the north, which means we're going to see some cooler temperatures. We're really going to feel the brunt of the cool weather on Friday. The overnight lows in the 50s. And then as we continue through the start of next week, as a boundary does approach us, we can expect for moisture as well as temperatures to start to increase increase and build back in. So the rain chance over the next 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, not on there. But Monday, that's when we have the chance of some isolated scattered showers, again, associated with the boundary approaching us, not yet crossing us on Monday, but just getting a little bit closer and increasing the chance for a possible shower or storm. I haven't shown that 7-day yet as of this 4 p.m. hour, so here you have it. Here's a look at the temperatures over the next 7 days. As you can see on Thursday, temperatures in the upper 70s, and as we go through the weekend, we're seeing numbers in the 80s, plenty of sunshine for you. And as we start out the week next week, we do have some scattered shower and storm chances for you.
It's time for us to take personal responsibility for what we are speaking. It's as if we have cut off our ears and just let our mouths dominate our lives. We can no longer allow our words to dominate. We must dominate our life with our words. Now think about this. Have you ever experienced moments in your life when you felt you were wandering without direction? I believe at those moments we are under the possession of past words guiding us towards the thing we once spoke. The initial desire of every word is to become visible. Words are an expression of our mind and are subject to our leading. Even as I am speaking right now, there are words you have spoken many years ago, circling you, waiting to come to pass. Your words are creating space, so expect something to change every time you speak. Watch out for your life by watching out for the words you speak into it. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey there, mic check, mic check. Brad, I was saying that this is the Bojangles Entertainment Complex. So Ovens Auditorium and then Bojangles Coliseum. That's where the Checkers play down there. Well, I don't know. It's spelled the same way too. I've never known what that is. Maybe that's why Bojangles bought it. You know, it's that time of the day. You start winding down a little bit and your body's like, yeah, I'm getting hungry, but not quite time to leave work yet. So you need that pick-me-up. A cup of coffee might do it, and today is the day to do that. It is National Coffee Day. So I asked you on Facebook, how do you take your coffee? And let's see what everybody had to say. By the way, you're going to notice a running theme here. Everybody had the same idea. Melissa says, with a little sugar and powdered creamer, a lot of creamer. Anna says sugar and flavored creamer. Goodness, everybody's on the sugar high here. Donna says 2 trivia, lots of flavored creamer. Francis says with sweet cream or half and half and sugar. Ben Gilbert, though, finally takes us back to basics here. He says black, no sugar at all. And then Roger had to throw in a funny there. He said, I take my coffee in a cup. I would have to agree with some of this. I know Tanya's on the half and half bandwagon with me, or you used to be. I know
Yes,
you're doing
I'm
some
on the
other
half
things
and
now.
half bandwagon. No sugar, but a little bit of cinnamon.
I actually tried
Ooh,
that
that
after you
works.
were talking about that. Took black with just a little bit of cinnamon and it gave it a little bit of flavor.
Yes.
And I don't drink caffeine except one day a week. And Tanya knows this. It's when I don't get 9 hours of sleep. And it's just
How is it that you can
One
number
day.
one, get 9 hours of sleep?
all right.
Yes,
He
thank
gets
you.
12 hours some days.
I don't. It's. And then when I do have caffeine, when I do get that 1 cup of coffee,
Are you crazy?
I'm crazy, and I have to warn everybody in the newsroom. I'm like, okay.
Wait. But you mean
Crazy.
Crazy.
That's right.
Bouncing off the wall.
But I do have to tell all of my cubicle neighbors in the newsroom when I'm on caffeine that
I've had coffee.
that I am under the influence of caffeine for the day. So to watch out. And they're like, I get a lot of eye rolls and.
But I got to tell you, I don't want you talking to me before I've had coffee in the morning.
So you're
You
one of
can
those.
talk to me, but I don't want you
seen,
to.
I've seen Tanya pre-coffee. You might want to give it at least 8 feet.
Yeah, I'm just. It is not a nice experience, and I'm sorry for you. If you ever have that, opportunity to meet me before coffee, I'll try my best. But whew, it's loud. It's
My
rough.
thing
It's
is, what,
unsocial distancing.
Yeah, it is.
what about the decaf? Like, what is the purpose of the decaf coffee?
I drink decaf
Is it?
Why?
What? Why?
Why?
because caffeine bothers my stomach, but I like the taste of coffee and I like something warm
okay.
in the morning.
I kind of
There you
thought
go.
about like non-alcoholic beer. Like you drink it because you really shouldn't be having the alcohol, but you like the taste of the beer.
Same thing with the caffeine. I
That's
get
right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we got. We're gonna go to break. We'll be back.
Mic check. Jalen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
I just sent a picture of.
Dun, dun, dun. Good afternoon and welcome back to the 4 to 5. I'm Chad Silver here with Tanya Rivera, Lauren Coleman, and Eric Chilton is having fun down in Charlotte today.
Yeah, he got two great seats. I can't wait to see what happens there. Okay, we welcome all of you watching the 4 to 5 right now here on WFMY News 2 on Fire Stick, Roku, the WFMY News 2 app for your TV, your phone, or your tablet. We're everywhere.
So many options, and we're even on Facebook, so make sure you hop on over there, join the conversation, because a big story today, a lot of people are talking about those long lines as fans waited for North Carolina's own J. Cole at the Greensboro COLISEUM. However, the show that was scheduled to start at 8 last night didn't start until midnight.
No, really long wait. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey spoke with a guy who ran into the lines after driving from Charlotte for the show.
Yeah, Tanya, Trey Houston, like many other J. Cole diehard fans, were in attendance last night and were highly frustrated with the hours-long wait. But he went on to tell me that after he left the Coliseum close to 2:30 this morning, he realized that the show he witnessed was worth every minute of the wait and every dollar he spent.
Overall, you know, it was a great experience, but it started out so just out of whack. It was complete chaos in the beginning.
J. Cole's The Off-Season Tour made a stop in Greensboro last night, and for hours, fans stood in line waiting for a show that was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. But due to issues getting the stage and lighting set up, things were delayed.
For whatever reason, they allowed us to come inside but not get to our seats. And of course, you know, the AC wasn't going as much as it needed to. Everybody was hot. People were passing out. Like it got a little crazy in there.
So for close to 3 hours, Trey Houston and other fans waited in line to get in without an explanation as to what was going on until J. Cole took to Instagram to explain the situation.
This is Cole. As we speak right now, it's 8:42 p.m. I'm backstage in the Greensboro show. I've been here for hours.
He went on to say that due to the detail they put into the show, it delayed him getting on stage, and that they were deeply sorry and embarrassed to have the people of his home state of North Carolina waiting. But according to Houston, the show was worth every second in line.
Man, oh man, that was one of the greatest shows I'd ever been to. So, you know, it was a little rough at the start, but definitely worth the wait.
We did talk with officials at the Coliseum who confirmed the delays were due to the get up and the setup of the stage, not any COVID protocols during the entry process.
Just 1 week until the curtain raises on the Tanger Center's first Broadway show. Wicked starts in Greensboro next Wednesday. Before the show gets here, it's actually wrapping up performances in Charlotte. Eric is there with a preview. Eric.
Yeah, you know, and the cast and crew, they'll be taking the stage here at Ovens Auditorium behind me. 8 o'clock is curtain time tonight, but it won't be long till they're in the Tanger Center, setting up and getting ready to go. This show, by the way, in case you missed our first segment, 33 Emmys this thing has won during its time on Broadway, at least 64 nominations. It is one of the biggest grossing plays of all time. It reached the 1 billion mark back in 2016. So this thing has been around a while and racked in a lot of money. That put it in the same category as, say, a Phantom of the Opera or the Lion King. So those are like the 3 top grossers, and Lion King also coming to the Tanger Center. So everybody very excited about this. Now, a lot of folks were asking, can we still get tickets? Yes, you can. And how much will we have to pay? Well, there's a pretty good deal going on. If you want to give it a shot, it's almost like playing a lottery. It is. It's called a digital lottery that they're doing at the Tanger Center. The day before each performance at 9 o'clock, it opens at 9, it closes at 4. You can go online to tangercenter.com/lottery, pay $25, that's it, for a chance. Now, it doesn't guarantee you a seat, but within minutes, they say, or at least within an hour or so, you'll find out whether you won that lottery or not, whether you got the tickets. So you could get a heck of a deal, and you have 60 minutes from the time you win that opportunity to get the ticket to pay for it online. That is a huge savings because some of these tickets are expensive, some not so much, but that is a bargain, $25. So don't forget that digital lottery. Again, they'll be heading up I-85 in probably a few days to get set up at the Tanger. The special effects in this and the orchestra, the music, all of it is so huge that it takes them a long time to set everything up. You will not be disappointed. I am going to stick around and see this tonight. I cannot wait, but I'm going when it gets to the Tanger as well. Got to go again.
Oh, you're so lucky.
It'll be your first time seeing it.
It is. It is.
Okay.
My wife saw it on Broadway. This will be my first time.
All right.
So I have never been to a Broadway show, period.
I haven't either. I haven't either, Chad.
Anywhere. Oh, okay.
What
All right.
is
You're not
happening?
alone.
There are 2 of us also, Lauren.
Oh, yes, you need to go.
So that means we need to go to this.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
have all of October.
And somehow I'll wait until the last day. The last day of the
Just
last
do the
show.
lottery every time.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but who you think is the good person and who you don't think is the good person. I'm just saying.
Okay, now I'm going to be wondering that the whole time.
There's stuff
when I
going
see
on
it.
in there. Yes.
La 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 la.
I know,
not
right?
listening.
Well, have fun, Eric. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
All right, so what is your vaccine status? These days, it is a really common question. Often you're asked when you're going to a show, maybe when you're traveling, when you go into certain businesses. And the big one, many employers are asking for your vaccine status. Now, here's the new question. Should you be putting your vaccination status on your resume if you're looking for a job?
It's interesting. I'm not opposed to putting it on there. I just wouldn't have thought about it until you posed the question.
Okay.
I would agree. Right now I'm going to say no, because I think in the interview process they'll probably tell you you need to be vaccinated for this job. Maybe the job listing online will say that too.
Maybe so. So at this point, ResumeBuilder.com said they surveyed more than 1,200 hiring managers nationwide in August. 33% said they would eliminate resumes that don't include COVID vaccination status. 69% said they would actually give priority to a resume showing that the applicant is vaccinated. And here's one temporary job agency owner who says, I just don't know about this.
You're missing out on a lot of people, and you're jumping to conclusions there. You're assuming too much from what you see there, from omission.
All right, so what about places that require vaccination? Lots of businesses do for their workers. 63% of those surveyed said their company requires the vaccinations, and nearly 80% of those businesses say they'd like to see status on a resume. Something different that I didn't even know that it would come to that at that point.
But I feel like that's the direction we're moving in, though.
And where do you put it?
Maybe
put it
under
at
your
the top
name?
right under the objective?
Under your name, maybe?
I think I'm going to order those little stickers that just say vaccinated, and
And then you can just stick
add
it on
them to
stuff.
everyone. Not that I'm looking for a job, boss. Not that I'm looking for a job. But if it gets to that.
By the way, the job agency owner says that he has not seen one vaccination status on a resume that he's received. That doesn't mean that we won't start seeing it, but
Right.
he hasn't seen it yet.
Maybe
that's the operative word.
We'll get the idea to do it now. Well, we're going to jump into your 4 to 5 roundup. The city of Winston-Salem will now require anyone attending a Winston-Salem State University football game to wear a mask. The university asked fans to wear masks, and now the city says they support the decision with this mandate. It also covers anyone working the game. The mandate also covers anyone attending or working at the Carolina Classic Fair. It officially goes into effect Thursday night. Right now, a hearing is underway in the conservatorship case of pop star Britney Spears. Currently, the star's personal and professional life is managed by her father, Jamie Spears. Both Spears and her father, Jamie, have petitioned the court to end his role in the 13-year conservatorship. A judge could rule to deny their petitions, replace Jamie, or terminate the agreement altogether. New video shows the incredible moments lava finally reached the sea of the coast of Spanish island La Palma. The volcano erupted 9 days ago, and ever since, lava has flowed towards the ocean. Officials say the lava could trigger explosions and clouds of toxic gases, so everyone nearby has been asked to stay inside. Thousands of people have been evacuated, and 3 coastal villages were locked down on Monday in anticipation of the lava meeting the Atlantic Ocean.
Recently, we haven't been talking about any tropical systems impacting the U.S., but that doesn't mean there still isn't any activity ongoing in the tropics. We do have 2 systems to watch, Sam, as well as now Tropical Depression 20. I've been keeping a close eye on Sam, but I do want to zoom in more closely to Tropical Depression 20, because this has been newly named. This system has been showing better organization over the last several hours. As of 11 a.m., it was moving with 35 mile-per-hour winds, but but expected over the next couple of hours to sort of upgrade to a tropical storm and then thereafter a hurricane. But you can see the track veering northward and still staying well away from the U.S. We've been doing good. These last couple of tropical systems have been staying well away from us, and I hope as we continue through the rest of the hurricane season, that will be the story. But regardless of the fact, I'm always keeping a close eye on the tropics just for you. So once that tropical depression 20 is upgraded to a tropical storm, that's when it gets the name. The next name on the list is Victor, and then Wanda, and then surely enough we'll be transitioning into the alternative list because we're almost near the end of this one. And once again, here's a look at that 7-day forecast. I showed it a little bit earlier in our newscast, but I want to show it to you guys again so you can see the numbers for this weekend. I know a lot of folks making weekend plans. Overall, the temperatures are going to be in the 80s, humidity on the 60 side, so it's still sticking around, but it's going to be a sunny weekend for you.
Hi, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check.
It is no surprise we have some really great athletes here in the Triad. Some go on to play their sport at the college and even the pro level. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson introduces us to a high school softball player, and she's getting ready for her next step.
Softball holds a special place in East Forsyth senior Kierston Deal's heart. Her love for the sport is taking her to her dream school, one of the top softball programs in the nation.
Softball is just an outlook for me.
It's a sport East Forsyth senior Kierston Deal grew up with.
I played t-ball around the age of 5, but I'd say the first time I started pitching was 9 years old.
A love that turned into a dream.
Growing up playing softball, Oklahoma's always been one of the #1 teams or the top 5 teams in the nation.
A dream that's becoming a reality. The left-handed pitcher announced her commitment to play at Oklahoma next year.
This is my goal right now, is to be able to have the opportunity to play for Oklahoma now, to be able to win a national title. So it's super cool and surreal to see just kind of the steps like continuing to go up for sure for me.
The Sooners aren't just a top program. They're coming off a 2021 national championship title.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy for sure. Just being able to meet the girls that were on the team, especially when I went on my visit, I got to see the trophy face to face.
Much like the Sooners, Kierston's no stranger to playing on big stages. She helped lead the Eagles to the state championship her junior year, but they didn't win it all. She says she saw the Triad rally behind them, and it's something she'll take with her to Oklahoma.
Being able to walk around kind of in Kernersville or in Winston-Salem, be like, oh my gosh, congratulations on everything. Going to Oklahoma with the atmosphere of that, kind of the family atmosphere and everything, it's super cool to have already, just knowing I can just grow my family there.
Kierston still has one more season with East Forsyth and a chance to win a state title before she tries to win a national one with Oklahoma.
It's just being a little girl, kind of seeing that goals are your dreams and your dreams are reality, so it's really cool.
When the dreams become reality, I love it.
Love it too, when you put in all that hard work and it finally starts to pay off. Congrats to her.
I also love the trickle-down effect because, you know, she's got one more year at East Forsyth, so this will help maybe recruit players who might be on the fence about playing at East Forsyth to play there. We've got one more season, could do really well, and I think it just helps the program overall.
Absolutely.
I think it would be very cool for her to go win a state title this year and then go play for Oklahoma and then win a national championship.
Right.
But the thing of talking to these athletes, one thing that I have noticed talking to them is that they really want to impact the community and show kids that are younger than them that they can do this too.
Right, that everybody gets to have a dream, and that dream, like she said, can become reality.
Just put in the work.
That's cool. All right, we'll be right back.
Well, buying a car for a good price is always a negotiation between you and the seller, but what happens when there's more people who need a car than there are cars on the lot? It is a classic example of supply and demand. Money expert Janae Adams is joining us. Janae, drive this message home.
Yeah, so cars have been a hot commodity over the last year, mainly because people are flying less and they want cars to be able to travel by land more. There's just one problem. There are not enough cars for everybody. And so because of that, the higher price has been a sticker shock for many people. So if you're into buying a new car or a used car within the next few months, I want to try to give you some kind of tips to go by to help yourself prepare as well as your wallet.
Yeah, and you broke those down into 3 things. So tell us what we need to know.
Yes, so the supply chain is broken, unfortunately. So that is happening all over the world. There are ships out in the ocean with different items that we need to make our everyday life run more smoothly. Cars are falling victim to that as well. There are computer chips out on those ships that are needed to complete the cars. So because of that, there is a shortage, and that is making the price of cars go a lot higher and actually pricing out some buyers.
Yeah, so this is a good time to save some money.
Definitely, this is a time to save some money. You know that there is a shortage, which means there's going to be a little bit of time before you get a new car or even a used car. Use that time to prepare. Prepare means saving some money. A lot of people go and buy cars and put 0 down, but I want you to take the next few months to save as much money as possible, because if you come to the table with more money, you're going to be able to negotiate the price that you want.
Exactly, and then once you're ready for it, you can move quickly.
Definitely, you have to be ready. This shortage is not going to last forever. The production is going to rebound. New cars and used cars are going to come back for you to be able to buy them, but you have to be prepared. You don't want to find the car that you love and that you want and somebody beats you to it because you're not ready. So make sure that when those deals come around, you have your money together so you don't miss out.
So is there any sign of when we'll start to see this turnaround?
Unfortunately, not anytime soon. It's about 50 ships out off the California coast stuck right now. They're about a week behind for any cargo coming in.
Wow.
So I don't know.
We're all guessing here. Thank you so much, Janae. Well, you can get more money tips from Janae Adams on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
All right, we've heard about people waiting on transplant lists for a new heart.
Oftentimes it can mean long weeks and months waiting in the hospital.
A North Carolina man is now waiting for his transplant at home while an artificial heart keeps him alive.
The little moments that most of us take for granted mean the world to Matthew Moore.
I'm able to be home with my son here and my wife, and it's just been a blessing for sure.
There were times when his family wasn't certain he'd make it home. Diagnosed with heart failure in June, his heart stopped multiple times.
I was technically dead for about 45 minutes.
Hope came in the form of a new generation artificial heart, designed to keep him alive until he can receive a transplant. Matthew became the country's first recipient of the device during a surgery at Duke. His wife, Rachel, who's a nurse, calls the technology amazing.
Just having him sitting here with me right now is miraculous, is nothing but a miracle.
You have 2 battery pockets.
After more than 3 months in the hospital, Matthew received some final reminders, and then it was time to go home.
Watching Marshall run to him as he came out the front door, that is a mental image that I plan to keep for a very, very long time.
You ready to go home?
At home, there are frequent checks on batteries, power supplies, and everything the artificial heart needs to function. There is also plenty of laughter.
And he has always wanted a tie to Duke. And there were so many other ways we could have gone about this. It did not have to be this involved, but I guess
found my end.
However, you've got to get it done.
These are the simple moments the Moores celebrate.
You just kind of sit back and just say how thankful you are.
Wow, that was so beautiful. It's so amazing to just see how technology has evolved and how it's just giving people that second chance of life and to be able to spend more of that time with their families.
And I love the sweet funniness about it. Like,
Yeah.
I always wanted a tie to Duke, and I guess if I had to do it this way, I might as well do
Yeah.
it this way. But I mean, that's one of the things, right, of healing is being able to find the light, be able to find the laughter, be able to find the good parts of things, even when it's a really serious situation.
Very.
Right, and I mean, how long ago could it, he have not survived without that artificial heart? I mean, boy, the technology, like you mentioned, is just
10
is
years, right?
amazing.
Maybe 10 years ago, this
Rapidly.
would not have been possible.
Exactly, and now he's got this artificial heart. He's just kind of on a waiting list, just hanging out.
It just touched my heart to see his son run out to him like that. That was so sweet.
All right, Monique.
Alrighty then, taking a look outside across the Triad, we do have some gorgeous views. Completely clear skies in some locations, like right over Truist Field, but in some locations also seeing some cumulus clouds being picked up there. Current conditions across the area, like I've said, it's been some 80s for you across the board with some partly cloudy skies. Some locations seeing more sunshine than others. That high pressure pulling in from the north, giving for cooler temperatures this weekend. And I've been talking about the tropics, but I do want to say what Tropical Depression 20 I was talking about earlier now has been upgraded as of the 5 p.m. update to Tropical Storm Victor. We've made our way through this 2021 list quite quickly, and Wanda is the last one, and then we'll be transitioning to that alternate list, but hopefully North Carolina will stay just as quiet as it has been so far this year. 7-day forecast showing you the temperatures for the weekend and start to next week. We don't see rain chances until the start of next week.
Another issue Guilford County is dealing with, EMS shortage.
Mic check, Tim. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey there, Oklahoma, Oregon,
Hi there. After investigating for several months.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Hey there, check, check. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. Hi there, it's time for my 2 cents. And today I want to talk about something that I think is not only important to me and something I'm excited about, but I think it should be for all of us. I'm talking about getting back to in-person events. You know that phrase, the roar of the crowd? That is a phrase for a reason. People love that. They love to feel like they're a part of a big outdoor concert or sporting event or speaker series or play. We like that, right? That feeling, that connectivity really between us. I think it's good for us, not only physical, but psychological and mental health. That well-being, we need to be connected. You know, in the pandemic, when everybody was staying inside and virtual became a big thing, and I'm not sure virtual will ever go away in full capacity really anymore, but that's okay. We will take these baby steps to get back to where we should be. That isolation we experience is not healthy for our minds. So look at this. Tanger Center have already had some in-person events to some degree. I know there are regulations and safety and we have to consider all that, right? That's important. But these baby steps and enjoying these concerts and speakers and symphonies and all of that in person is very important. Isolation, anybody will tell you, any mental health expert will tell you isolation is the worst thing for bad mental health, the worst. So this socialization that we missed for so long, it's coming back in these baby steps. And I think for all of us, there's a bond there, right? Of being a part of something big, whether it's a concert or a speaker series, anything. So let's take a deep breath, be safe about everything, do the right thing, wear your mask when they tell you to, and eventually we'll get back in person. And I think all of us will benefit physically, mentally, emotionally. It's good for our hearts and it's good for our minds. And that's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5.